They heard that. Hey YouTubers and friends, how you doing tonight? Good, good, excellent, excellent. I'm really glad to hear that. We have, Dano the Mano and my good buddy and partner in crime, Toledo Just, with us tonight. And for our guests, we have a couple of metal detectorists that are fellow Ohioans. Sam Waters and Evan Kready. I'll have to ask him how to pronounce that. But, and so, you know what I'm going to say, right? Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. Tuesday Night Hangout Live. Tuesday Night
All right, we should have a really good show tonight with some more Detectorists joining us. As a lot of you know, many of us gold prospectors are also metal detectorists. I might own 2 metal detectors, but I don't get out as much as I'd like to. There's a lot of things I'd like to get out and do, but you know how life is. Um, we'll get to our guests in a minute. Here, let me shrink me down like I normally have to do, and I'll bring Dano and Jesse in, and we'll. Where's that doggone Skype? There it is. And there they are right there. How you doing tonight, Dano and Jesse?
I'm
doing
there,
good,
buddy.
How about you?
I'm good. I was frigidly cold today. Even in the building, I was triple, quadruple layered and had my Carhartt coveralls on, and I was
Are you
still
going to tell us
freezing.
about how cold you were today at work?
I feel
For a
for him. I
minute.
work out there too.
For
I
a
feel
minute.
for him.
I was even in a building. It was like, oh, we got soffit to do, and I'm like, not tonight, not today. Nope, 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 not today. But we had some stuff inside, but you know, might as well been outside except for the chill factor. It was probably in the area of the building we're building. It was probably no lie. My coffee froze. I'm not into frappuccino either. A good hot mocha, yes, but not a frappuccino. But it was probably, oh, 20, 19 degrees inside the building we were in. At least it wasn't the 4 degrees that it was outside. But nonetheless, you two have been having it nice. I'm envious.
Hey, I had to work. I had to work today.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
not
I was
envious.
in
I'm
your
late. I'm
kitchen.
laid off.
I put my kitchen ceiling up. Or almost got it all done. I put that up today. My grandson's help, but I wasn't in the house, so it was warm.
I'm laid off, so it's not good. But at least I'm not out in the cold like Ed. So
Yeah. Oh,
I
well.
won't say a whole lot.
Wow, your sister had snow in Texas.
Oh yeah, my
In
sister-in-law too. They had
Houston, even.
sleet. They had
And
sleet.
so wonder if John Shaw had snow too.
Well,
bet
yeah,
that was
I'm
chaos
sure
for
he
them.
did. I'm sure they did. Oh, yeah. In Texas, they don't know how to
Do nothing in the
drive.
snow. Everything
Yeah.
shuts down.
Everything shut
Oh,
down. They had ice.
We got a
My
dusting.
sister-in-law said, no. It was more than a dusting. They got sleet. They got quite a bit of sleet. Covered a lot of stuff. It was
sleet
quite a
can be
bit.
quite dangerous, you know.
Yeah.
At
They're not
least
ready
it
for it.
wasn't a
A lot of those houses
full-blown
don't even
ice
have heat.
storm.
They
Well,
don't have heat in Texas. A lot of places don't need it.
well, yeah, like Patrick says, it snows in parts of Texas every winter, like in the Panhandle, up
Right, up
around
north.
Amarillo.
Not Houston.
Not Houston.
Not
That'd
Houston.
be like it's snowing in Corpus Christi or something like that.
Right.
You know. But,
So yeah. I told her. I texted her back and said, "Oh, that's a nice picture." I know they're freezing.
well,
John
yeah,
Wolf says
you know.
20s all day long.
Yeah.
Right. We have a really nice crowd here tonight. A lot of
Cool.
our friends and newcomers too. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Geez. I see old Truth Seekers in his incognito outfit tonight.
JB's in there, and hello, Jared. Glad you made it. Glad you're here. Always glad you're here, Jared.
Jared,
Yep.
he's the best moderator there is. The best
He should
moderator
moderate
west of
everything.
the Pecos.
Fastest mouse in the West.
There you go. Thank you.
He'll block you in a click.
Oh yeah, we have Ronald and Truth Seeker, your sister Diana. We have Mr.
Hi, sis.
Hook and Mrs. Hookette.
Yeah, she.
Patrick
We
and
have
Susie
Bill
here.
Marsh in
She
the
just.
house.
Let's see.
Patrick and Sue.
My
and
sister just
Ava.
sent me
Oh,
a
and Dennis Dayton
picture.
just popped up. What's up,
He
Dennis?
did.
Oh,
Yes, he did.
Wow.
welcome everybody. Christopher. Yeah. Scroll here the names. Tim Grimes. Now we have two Tim Grimes in here though. We have Tim Grimes
Oh.
as Tim Grimes. Is that Tim Grimes or is that Tim
Or is that Tim
Grimes?
Grimes?
And then we have Gold Prospector's face. The mystery.
Mm.
Will it be solved?
Who cares?
Let's find some gold. I hear you, Christopher. Well, everybody ready to bring in our guests? I'm sure they're.
Yeah,
I
let's
see
do
they're
that.
kicking back there, going, "Man, wonder when these old folks gonna shut up."
Can't let them talk forever. They'll
It's
ramble
our
on,
turn.
ramble on.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they're our guests and they're here. So let's get them talking. I'm going to bring
Good
them up
idea.
so our friends can see them out there. Hi, Sam. Hi,
Hello.
Evan. How do you
Hi,
pronounce,
Sam.
how do you
Evening,
pronounce your
guys.
last name right?
Kready, yeah. Yeah, you did good.
Kready?
Yep.
Kready. Okay. Well, I didn't butcher it all that bad, I guess.
No. There it is. Some reason there we go. I was having a hard time getting it up on YouTube. I mean, getting the video up on YouTube. Okay, we're good. We're good. Hi, Sam. Hi, Evan.
Hello.
How are you two tonight?
We're pretty good.
Doing good.
Right.
Waiting out all this snow.
Oh, yeah, I hear. I guess everybody's got snow, even down in Texas.
Well, what part of the state are you two in?
We're on the eastern part, like down below Canton.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, you guys get a lot more lake effect than we do on this side.
Right.
Yeah.
What lake effect we get on our side's from Michigan, where you get it right off Erie. Boom.
Yeah, you never know when it's coming in.
We got 8 inches 3 days ago, and we just got another, 5 last
At
night.
least.
Wow.
And they just canceled school again, so the kids are excited.
They've been off since Christmas.
Snow day!
Yeah.
So they
don't
got
you
to
miss
make
weather?
them up.
Yeah, right. Do it during the summer. We never had snow days. They go, it snowed. Get to school.
Get to school.
But I walked uphill both ways, right?
I was just thinking that.
Mr.
Back in your
Mr. Goldsmith
days, they
showed
walked to school and back uphill.
Yeah.
Barefooted. Couldn't afford no shoes.
So, Sam, you are the founder of CWPPO. How about
Yeah.
tell us what that's all about? I mean,
Well, it's an acronym for the Civil War Preservation Project of Ohio. In 2015, I started it to follow Morgan's Trail through Ohio. A lot of people in Ohio they don't even know that the Civil War happened here. So it gets a lot of interest in the state. But basically what we do is we go and we find an area, or they come to us, which is a lot easier than doing the research yourself at first. We go in with Detectorists. Anybody that can sign in is good, good help. Last day we had about 150 people. The year before it was 160. Year before, I think we started out with 125. But we pick an area, we grid it up, we see what we can find, and where the relics are located can help determine which story is actually the one that happened. You had stories from landowners. You have them from just people in all different books tell you different things. So we go in to verify and try to determine which one actually happened. We work with a lot of people, historical societies, the landowners, and the author David Mowery. He wrote a book called Morgan's Raid, But he went through and he did a lot of research, and he's helping us out. He'll call and let us know of an area that we can get in, or certain things he'd like us to find out about an area. Basically, on the first dig that we did in 2015, I was in Salineville, Ohio, it's in Columbiana, Carroll County area. And he wanted us to find out which directions the Raiders went after they were finally captured. How did the battle happen? And what's kind of cool where the relics were found, we found shot Union bullets on the inside of a big bowl, actually, basically is where they were. They were shooting back and forth. We could tell the Confederates were in the bowl, the Unions were up around the top, because we found dropped Unions up around the top and then shot Confederates up around the top. And it was kind of cool in this one area where they tried to escape out of the bowl. We found shot Union bullets in the side of the hill. It was just like you could picture how they got up out of that bowl, but they were actually captured there. There's just a lot of things that we try to determine what really happened to straighten history in Ohio for the Civil War around here.
So do you just look for the battlegrounds themselves, or do you look for do you go are you more interested in the actual battle or the life of the soldier around the encampments, or is it a mixture of both?
It's a mixture of both. We try to find out as much as we can about an area, because we can find stuff about it that they may not even know. Like little things that we find, it just adds more to the story.
Right.
It adds a lot of exposure to landowners too. Like when the battle happened in Salineville, the current landowners, the Lindners, were they were related to the people that actually lived in the house during the battle. So they were super excited that we could go in and say, yep, your grandpa was right. Or, okay, this story is a little fishy, whatever they came up with, it actually matched what we found out. So it was their confirmation. They were like, all right.
Yeah, I bet that, I bet that made you feel good too, that you were able to confirm something for someone who has had a belief, for a few generations. And then you come by and you tell them, yeah, that actually did happen, just the way you were told,
The last one that we just did, we were in Jackson City at Berlin Heights, and the landowner, I remember there was one particular item that they found across the road from his house, and he thought, oh no, the voicemail. Okay, you still there?
Yeah, you're still here.
we could still hear you, but you did freeze.
It was the school again. I'll just let it go to voicemail. But the book that was found across the street, the landowner originally thought that it was a shot Confederate, and he looked so sad. He said, "This can't be." He said, "If this is Confederate, then the man from Chillicothe was right, and my theory was wrong." We actually had someone in the dig crew that said, "Oh no, that's a shot Union bullet," and he lit up, which means that his theory of the Union bullets, shooting across the road, proved his theory
right
about the Confederates being in that field. I'm still putting together that story. We sectioned off about 9 different areas in that whole. When we had basically the whole town, it was unbelievable. We hope to get back there soon, but I'm pinpointing each one. We had an amazing app that Ryan Kammerer created for us. He was from the GIS. He created an app for us where we could log right where we were, what the item was, how deep it was, a photo of it, just anything about it. So I have all this information compiled, and we had a lot of stuff found. And I'm only on, I think, section 5. So I'm halfway there. I'm trying to put it together and compile all this information.
So what got you?
Patrick O'Master said Salineville was fun.
Yeah, that was the first one. We get better at each one. I mean, the first one you learn a little bit. The second one you learn a little bit more. So we're trying to make it fun for all the detectors that come in. And they're coming in, they're donating their time, and they don't get to take anything home. So we have giveaways, we have drawings, we have auctions live. We try to provide just everything that they need to get here. It is a little difficult because we don't have funding. I'd rather not involve funding because historical societies, it's hard for them to get money on their own for stuff. So if we come in and say we have 200 people, that's a burden to them, you know? So we
Right.
do our own, try to gather money, and we involve a lot of people that want to be involved. And yeah, Patrick and Sue, sorry about that deer you guys hit last year. Those roads
Oops.
were, I bet everybody got car sick from those roads down in Morgan
They were
County.
windy.
They were pretty bad, but we really do.
I see one of your sponsors is with us tonight. Age Goonies.
Oh yeah.
He says CWPPO is amazing job, Sam.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, they were great. They're very helpful. Just great people. They really are. Everybody that came in was very helpful. We even had some people come back in. They come back up from Florida, a month later, to do another dig in the middle of 30 degrees. So it was
nuts.
amazing.
Yeah, I noticed that your volunteers and your groups and stuff come from all over the country. I mean, they're they're from all over. That's pretty awesome, you know. So what got you into the Civil War? I don't know. What got you into the Civil War?
You know, I'm going to be honest. Back in 2013, I didn't even know Civil War happened in Ohio. I was just a detectorist, you know, around my area. I traveled a little bit, but I seen the sesquicentennial story in the paper about Morgan's Raiders, and that there was a trail, and there was a marker in Salineville, and I said, okay, I've got to go see it. And it was an hour and a half drive. I drove there and I checked it out, and there was an acre of protected area that was supposed to be part of the battle. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna message the president of the historical society. All he can do is tell me no. Well, he didn't. Yes. The item that I found on the very last day I was there kicked off this whole thing. And some people have seen it, some people may not even know about it, but it was a Civil War bullet that was molded into a ring, and it had embedded rubies in it, and you could see the things. So it was carried onto that field by a soldier. And once I found that, the neighbors were out across the street, you know, the older couple over there, very friendly, and I was just letting them know what it was doing, let them know what I found. You know, they just seemed like really friendly people. And he says, well, what are you doing over there? The battle happened in my backyard. And then he invited me to check he had 500 acres. So how in the heck did I have 500 acres on my own? That's when I started to ask people, why don't you come in? Why don't you come in? And then it just spread. I mean, the story got so big it hit Italy. It was unbelievable. But we had a lot of people come in. A lot of, you know, the author came in. The relatives of John Morgan came in from West Virginia. And it's that single ring find is what kicked it off. Had I not found that, this may never have taken off at all.
Wow.
And that's the I needed, you know, in Carroll County needed to accommodate, you know, lodging and such and help out. And donated, you know, some things, some water. But without those items, see, we helped them get markers as well. We were able to help them, and I don't know where they are with this. I'll probably have to follow up with David, but they were supposed to get a marker put in the base of Ocean Road where the river crossed into that one property behind that pole. And the funding was granted because they had the proof they needed. Every relic we found got donated, and that was the proof that they needed to get that funding.
That's cool.
Excellent.
Nothing like stumbling into a permission, huh?
Amazing. And the landowners were just really great. They were very private. They didn't want a lot of people coming around, so we had to keep the hush of, you know, where we were going to be that year. Morgan County, the second year, was way different. She was so excited. The landowners were so excited to have us there. She told everybody. You know,
was that the tavern, Morgan Tavern?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
so
tavern.
that's where Patrick ran into the deer. Or the deer ran into Patrick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I have a question from Patrick. It's about metal detectors.
Yep, I wrote it
What's
down.
new from White's detectors? Is White's doing anything in response to the new Garrett and Minelab machines, or is the opinion that the others just playing catch up to White's?
Um, well, I'm actually I don't sell white detectors anymore. I'm not a dealer anymore. I'm actually going to be switching to Minelab Equinox when it comes out. I mean, I've been using the whites for a really long time, and not that it's a bad machine. I just need something that's going to accommodate what we what we need. We climb up hills. We walk
Right.
for miles times, and the MXT machine that I use, it's about 8 pounds. So I don't want to do that again this year. And they had a new machine coming out, and I was impressed with the videos, fast speed and such. And just from talking
Right.
with Brandon Neese and Debbie and Ron Hoffman, there's a lot of good things about the machine, and we're just gonna give it a try. It's I always have the MXT as a backup. It's been great to me, but it's really heavy. I can't answer that question. I'm sorry.
Well, there you go, Patrick. She's
You'll have to
going
find out
Mind
yourself,
Lab.
Patrick. You're gonna have to go buy one and find out.
Yeah.
Don't Patrick use a Mind Lab though?
Patrick uses anything he gets his hands on.
Well, I know he has Garrett's, he has White's,
Right.
he has.
Mm-hmm. It's
And-
Minelab
is-
doesn't put out bad machines. I mean,
No,
They
from
really-
what I hear, they're about the top notch, aren't they?
yeah, I've had a lot of different Minelab machines. Like right now, I'm using a Deus most of the time, but really they don't make bad machines. Like you don't have problems with crack screens and software issues like the Deus does, and quality issues like the Whites do. I think they make a great machine. So we're optimistic. I like the weight of the Equinox. Like I'm used to running the Deus, and Sam's ran my Deus some too. Having wireless headphones, that's great. You're not getting tangled up crawling through the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I like that you can submerge the coil with the Equinox, where the Deus, it's all wireless from the coil to the module. So you can put it underwater, but you got to buy an antenna kit and string an antenna up the shaft, it just seems kind of problematic there. But overall, I've seen the videos, and it seems like it's got good speed and nice and light, and something we can take out and hunt for 8 hours and go home without being in agony.
Yeah, we do that. We'll from daylight till daybreak. We're out all day.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
I have another request from your friend and ours, Patrick O'Masters. He says I need to get Sam and Evan to the night hunt at the June Fossick. They're
Ah, there
at
you
the
go.
Swank West property.
Oh,
I
maybe
know Jen puts
ma-
on and Patrick and Sue, they put on
Oh,
a
yeah.
fabulous hunts at our Swank West property.
maybe if Patrick were to call in tonight after we open the phone lines, he could
Yeah, very
mention
true.
that.
And we'll
Yeah.
we'll open up the lines here in a minute after we take our first commercial break. We have a little bit of time, so shoot away, Jesse.
All right. So, besides metal detecting, Civil War relics and that, is other stuff that you like to look for? I mean, do you like to bottle dump hunt? You like to do
Yeah.
other types of? You like to go auctions or flea markets or any of that stuff? To me, those are all treasures, also.
Yeah,
Could it-
the bottle dumps are fun to find. Most of the sites we dig, the old ones typically have a bottle dump, and it's a plus if you find it. I mean, we're out there just swinging, but you come up across that, it's just like, yeah, you bring home old bottles. We were at a historical town, that's what I'll call it, with the foundations left over. But in the middle of one of these foundations is just a pile of bottles and glass and, I mean, little dolls. I mean, it was just unreal.
They didn't even take it out back. They just dropped it down the hole in the board.
It's just gone. But there was just so much stuff there. You know, we've got to get back there. Just weather's just putting a damper on it.
It's a hard time of year for us because, I mean, if it gets up around 32, we're ready to go. We went out. We had a short warm up. We went out and tried to dig, and the ground was still frozen. We did it anyway, but we paid the price because we were pretty sore the next day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're anxious to get back out. We're ready to roll.
Right on. Well, let me take a quick do a quick break from our sponsors at Gold Claw, and well, no, I'll do one of my longest contributors and good friend and sponsors, Prospectors Radio, first, since hopefully Tim's is still in the room. And we'll open up the phone lines when we come back. Sound good?
Yep.
All
Worked
right.
for me.
Hopefully we'll get a lot of calls. Okay, we'll be right back.
Bumping into it was it'll. If I can keep it on there long enough, don't lose it.
All right, our phone lines are now open. 419-741-4090. Any metal detectorists or prospectors wannabe detectorists or whatnot out there who wants to give us a call, shoot away your questions to our guests.
Call now.
Call now. Phone lines are open.
419-741-4090.
Let's put this phone number to use, brought to us by our good friends down at Carolina Prospectors.
Operators are standing by. So, do you ever prospect for gold at all? Have you ever tried it?
Only the kind you can order in a bag. I have not yet.
Oh, well, we'll have to get you out to the swank this summer.
And now you have to come to the faucet. You're in Ohio. You're halfway there.
Yes.
So,
yeah, we talked about it, and a number of our friends.
Well, actually, Drew and Jocelyn might even be there also. So,
okay.
I don't know how you two get along, but
we don't really talk much. I think there's so many people out there. It's hard to keep in touch with everybody.
Well, that's understandable.
Hey, trust me, she has her fair share of haters too.
We all do.
Yeah.
Kind of good, there's more rumors all through the Facebook than there is in grade school. It's ridiculous.
It's as bad as grade school or junior high.
Oh, we got a call from our good buddy Dennis Dayton.
Uh-oh.
Here comes trouble. Sorry, Sam and Evan. Inside joke. Hey, Dennis, how you doing, buddy? I think you might have hung up.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Hey, I got a question for your guest tonight.
Good. Go ahead.
What's the best thing you found so far?
Well, me, it's a toss-up because I'm a relic hunter. But if for the relic, it would be the ring with the embedded rubies that started the Civil War project. On the coin side of it, the 1839 $5 gold piece.
Oh yeah. Oh, no kidding. Yeah, I was thinking maybe the belt buckle, but no, definitely the gold.
Yep, definitely the gold.
Definitely the gold. If you haven't seen that video, that's poor girl's crying. She's
Oh,
just.
yeah.
It was so funny watching that. Her hands are shaking.
I was hyperventilating. I almost threw up, and I needed help walking back to the truck. It was unbelievable.
No doubt. No doubt.
So you guys, you say you have this event you guys put on every year. I've heard of it coming to the, like the Gold Rush Days, and I know Patrick, has been talking about doing these and talking to Susan about the these things that's going on in Ohio. Where they get out and they detect, and whatever they find, it goes toward it goes to the preservation or whatever it is, that you guys put up, kind of like trying to build up like a museum of them. And I'd really love to come out and join that event. I think that would be awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, we work with each historical society in the nearest town or the township, and they're with us 100% of the way. They're with us every step, so they can learn and they can be able to take these relics in.
It's so awesome that doing something like that to preserve part of history and be able to tell a story with it. That is just so amazing, and really glad to see you guys doing that.
Thank you.
And did you say that the relics that you find go to the local museums in the areas?
Yeah.
Where you're at?
Well, every dig so far, the landowners have donated 100% of everything. Now, in 2016 in Morgan County, there were some things. There were a couple of things that were Raiders related that the landowners were kind of attached to, and then other things that weren't Raiders related that they wanted to keep. But for the most part, they got to, the museums got those relics, and that's our goal. Those relics. That's what helps them get funding. That's what helps tell the story. If we come across a landowner that wants to keep everything, that's their choice because it's their property. And as long as we're able to go in and tell the story and get photos and log where everything came from, we can still do the story, and they can still get their funding if they need it, even without relics in the museum. They have proof.
Oh, okay. As long as they have the proof that the relics came from there, what the relics were. As long as they have that, they don't necessarily have to have the relic.
Right.
Okay.
And
That's cool.
Morgan's Trail up through Ohio, they've got roadside stops, throughout this route. Kind of goes along the trail. Well, a lot of these small towns, they don't have a whole lot to show. So they're small museums, and they're, gives somebody to look at that links their town or their museum directly to Morgan's Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
So these little towns know about this, but don't have anything to show for it.
Right.
Okay. That's not there. Right. So, and then you guys come in and we were talking about, I asked you earlier, so now that you've done this for a couple of years, are you getting a better picture of how this battle occurred, where it occurred, what it was kind of like?
Yeah, we're learning a lot. We're kind of bouncing along the trail. We go where we're needed the most, where people come to us, or we have the author, David Mowry. He kind of leads us and guides us. He done most of the footwork. He just says, I have some missions in this area I'd like you to go check out. Here's the connection. And we just go do it.
So it's not like you're following in any chronological order.
No, and I'll tell you
like
what. There, some areas don't want it to be known where we are until afterwards. Because people that they call night hawking will go in,
right,
it or sabotage it with, and it sounds stupid, but thousands of pennies, nails. just to make it look like, we didn't find anything, or we only get one weekend to do this. So we do.
You're limited to one weekend for the year?
If people are if people are coming in from Florida, Texas, California, they can't.
Yeah,
come
okay,
in.
you're right.
We can do smaller digs with, maybe the tri-state area, but
Right.
discussed doing that. We had someone come to us just at the last dig and said they had a farm. Their grandparents lived there, but it was only maybe 100 acres. And they were kind of nervous about people knowing. They don't think there'd be anything left. And I believe her mother used to metal detect it. We'll go help out, but I don't want to make that the big dig of the year,
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, and I contacted David Mowry about that one, and he said there's really no significant things that happen there other than that they camped in a field. So I figured if I just took a smaller group and then went to a different area with a bigger group, we might do better that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I heard that one of the things that you do is you help people find stuff that they've lost.
Yeah.
Is that like a business for you, or is that just?
No, I'm a member of the Ring Finders. Just people throughout. I think we cover 4 areas or four towns, but it's 50 miles within each one of those towns. Somebody loses keys or a phone, their ring, anything metal that we can find. We had a call last year for a propeller that fell off a 4-foot RV, an RT car boat, something weird. Of course, it's in the water. It's hard to find. But anything that people lose, they can contact me on theringfinders.com.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, are there? Okay, you're not going to beat gold coin, but but do you have a bucket list of things that you'd like to find? Not necessarily Civil War, but
Of course they do. Everybody.
Well, I mean,
does.
Now, and people
let's
are going
hear
to
it then.
People are going to laugh at this, but I've never found a barber quarter.
Really? Okay.
I was like a strike for 3-cent pieces in gold coins, but it eludes me. I mean, last year I just found my first seated quarter, but I'm still.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was in bad shape, but I got it. Yeah, that's.
And that St. Christopher's, did you? I never did get to see a picture of that cleaned up.
What is it?
The St. Christopher medal you found? It was that one that opened up?
Oh, I did post some photos of that, and that thing was, I don't even know if it's solid. I really don't know, but that was an old homestead back in it was on the 1875 map, clear out in the woods. And I've been hitting the place quite a bit, but I start to leave, and I'm just swinging in and by this huge tree. It sounded like a pop can. I'm like, I'll go ahead and dig it. And it was that pendant of some kind. It was unreal. I don't even know how old it is. I have no idea.
But I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, that was a cool pendant. I think you said it was St. Christopher, was it?
Yeah, St. Christopher. And then, oh, goodness. You open it, it slid open. It was like on a pivot. I'm like, wow. Yeah, I did that. And I had to post that later because I couldn't go live out there, but bad service. But yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was a really cool one.
Anything else, Dennis?
No, actually,
I'm sorry, Dennis. I took over.
No,
on
you're
you.
fine. Hey,
Jesse pushed him right out. Dang you, Jesse!
I sit back sometimes and listening, and it's all good. But I just wanted to say, I really appreciate what you guys do. I look forward to hopefully coming on the next hunt with you guys because I'm just right here in Indiana. So,
okay.
Hey, I really love it. I'll get my new monster, my Minelab out and swing it, and help you guys find some history that that people
Hey.
can see. So
Yeah. Follow along at CWPPO.org. And I'm going to post results of this dig. And I've got some ideas of where we're going to go this year. So just keep an eye out for updates.
is that on Facebook?
Yeah. Well, I have a CWPPO page on Facebook. And then I have CWPPO.org as a website.
Well, Ed or Jesse, one of you guys, do me a favor and text me that information.
Sure thing, buddy.
And because I'm getting ready to hop off here and let another caller get on and keep the phone lines open. But look forward to meeting you guys. It's going to be
Same
cool.
here. Thanks.
All right, guys, take care, and I'll get off here and I'll be listening to the show.
Excellent. Thank you,
you, Dennis.
brother. See you soon, hopefully, Dennis.
Oh yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
All right, buddy. Oh, Dennis, before you
Yeah.
hang up, are you going up to the Boy Scout painting demo this weekend?
I plan on it as long as I don't get scheduled to work. We just, it was at the last minute, and we got scheduled last weekend, and I was, it's nice to know. The thing about where I work is you never know.
Right.
It always seems like they wait till the last minute and they throw it on you. That's why I never can plan a weekend. The only one I know for sure that I get is when I put in vacation, because I know they can't take that away from me.
Right.
I thought you went on regular hours. I thought you went back to regular hours. You're going to be
8
normal
hours,
life
but-
again.
Yeah, and we're supposed to have weekends off, but all of a sudden now they're starting to work us weekends and they're pulling the old hat tricks like they used to with 8 hours, because we're a union shop. It's one of the disadvantages about being a union shop is they won't tell you till the last minute you got to
Right.
work.
Yep.
All right. Well, I hope I
Well,
see
thanks for
you out
calling,
there.
Dennis.
If not, we totally understand. Thank you, Colin, for calling, buddy.
Hey, no problem. And I'll talk to you guys later.
See you, Dennis.
Okay, see you later, Dennis.
We have some comments and questions I've been saving from the room. Roger Sneal says, "Hey, Sam and Evan," and Scott Lund. While detecting, do you ever find any Hopewell era pottery or carved stoneworks?
We not so much the stone carvings, but we do find it's more Delaware Indian. Where we are is we go through Janaton a lot, and it's one of the first. Well, it's the first settlement in Ohio actually that had the Delaware Indians and the Salem Missionary happen there. But they lived all along that river, so it's nothing to go down an embankment and find an old campsite left from the Indians. I mean, I've got scrapers, I've got stone knives, I've got fire starters, arrow straight. Yeah, it's unbelievable the stuff that you can find along that river.
Okay, cool. And Roger Sneal also says, "Looking forward to another great year working with you, Sam and Evan. No hard tack this year."
Oh,
Must be a inside joke.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Roger, he's from the Dayton Diggers, and during the last dig, he brought in little care packages from the Confederates, of what they would have eaten out there. And the hardtack, he needed to put a waiver on the box that if you broke your teeth, that you, we weren't
He said he made 200 pieces of it last year.
Yeah.
He probably got what?
Well, let me get this last one from our buddy David. Tasmanian Gold Rush, Australia, our good friend from down under. He has a metal detecting question. Have you ever detected in an area where there is no trash? When I said no trash, I mean nothing man-made. So other than relics, man-made garbage.
I've been on some like really old field sites, where the only thing left is non-ferrous targets. I mean, there isn't even any iron. If maybe they were timber frame, but all it is specks of brass. and coins. You know, that's probably about as close as I've gotten to going on a site and not digging any trash. Like to me, an old hunk of brass is a relic. I don't consider that trash. I think it's a breadcrumb that just giving you an idea of the lay of the land.
Yeah.
Right.
Me, all of my sites have at least a pull tab or a lighter, or But then again, the next signal is a largie, But yeah, it'd be great to find a site that's been away from civilization for a couple hundred years.
Now, do you two discriminate much, or do you dig it all?
I dig it all.
It just varies. I try not to use. I mean, I run my dais pretty much wide open, but I hunt by sound mostly. So really, even like on a numeric scale, I don't pay any attention to it. If it sounds good to me, I'll dig it. I know a lot of the people that go in and cherry pick, they're missing that gold we're all searching for. So I dig a lot of mid-tones and anything that sounds round.
All right, excellent. Well, people, phone lines are open. Let's put this phone to use. Costs us good money to have it here, so let's put it to use. Try and get people to call in more.
Call now.
Come on, Patrick, call in. I know you want to, buddy. I know you want
Yep,
to.
you know he does.
We'll pressure him like we did to Jurin that one night. Call in, Patrick. Hey, look here. We have a call from our good friend and our one of our contributors through Patreon, John Shaw, calling from Texas. How you doing tonight, John?
Doing great. I just wanted to say hello to Sam, and I've been following her for a couple of years now. I guess since about the first one of the big hunts. Haven't been able to get out to any of them, but one day we'll make it to one.
I hope so.
Well, there's a big hunt in Houston in March, I believe. Isn't the Charles Garrett Memorial Hunt in Texas in March?
Yeah, big one.
I may be. Like I say, I'm pretty much new at the detecting part of it, but I've got my Ace 350. It's a nice machine to start with.
Yeah.
Go 350. That's what I got. You got a question?
I just wanted to say, I just wanted to say hello and
Okay, cool.
Let her know to keep up the good work. I enjoy following.
Yeah, John Shaw is one of our buddies, a gold prospector. He finds
Space.
gold in his driveway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all have a great evening.
Yeah, you too.
You too, John. Thank you very much for
All right.
calling, buddy.
Bye.
Yeah, we had a discussion one night on GPS about gold in Texas. And, he called in, let us know. No, he finds gold in Texas in his driveway. So
Yeah, we talk to him all the time about his mine and his driveway.
Yeah. So in your doing your research for a particular area or anything, you ever come up with other things that lead you in different directions? Other legends, other ghost stories, or even lost gold stories or things like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of different resources for doing research on certain areas, and you're always reading extra stuff, or you're finding a new foundation that was there but now it's not. Or I use Google Books a lot for historical information, and you'll look in there for one particular thing, and then you'll start reading it, and then it definitely takes you in a whole different area. I mean, you use mapping.
Yeah, I do a lot of mapping. Old
Uh,
atlas,
I
do a lot of old.
love maps.
The older the better. Like, just get the oldest map we can and try to get on the oldest site we can find around here.
that's something I've recently been getting into, going to auctions and looking for some of these old maps. You know, not easy to find, but they're around. That and books.
Yeah, some things are really hard to find. Now, it's interesting, after my very first dig, when I'm trying to do research on the Raiders in Ohio, Leanville, I come up dry, other than the author that went and did his own research. So I decided to go to the Civil War show in, I think it was in Mansfield that year. And not one single booth had anything to do with Morgan's Raiders. I couldn't find anything. So I started talking to a few people, and they actually invited us to go in, set a table. We'd be the only ones there with any Civil War history around Morgan's Raiders. I mean, yeah, I had one guy call for me by name. It was really weird. And he says, I remember you, because they did a story for me in the Civil War Trader magazine. And he says, listen, I have Morgan's saddle. He said, I'd like you to use it for presentations, and he gave me his phone number, and I tried to call him months later while we were in New Richmond, and the number was disconnected. His email didn't work. I have no idea. He was from, Kentucky, and he had it. He had the authenticity done. He's been in, on television about it. It's just unreal, and I can't locate him.
Oh well, I'm kind of ignorant. Who was Morgan?
Morgan was the Confederate commander. Actually, he's the one that led the troops into Ohio after he was ordered not to. He was kind of just out to cause a diversion, to get troops away from other areas so they can gain an advantage. But he went against orders and crossed the river anyway. And that's what, they had enough soldiers to stop him on the Union side, but that was John Morgan.
So he was a bad boy.
Yes,
he was a very bad boy.
So was that something that, I mean, I'm sure you researched him just as much as the whole.
It's kind of weird because you learn more about this guy with every site that you dig. But in the beginning, I didn't know anything. So in Salineville, I learned a little bit. And then I went on to the next site, learned a little bit more. And talking to people at the next site, I learned a little bit more. I'm not an expert by any means with Morgan, but I'm getting there. We're an expert on recovery and putting that story together. The more we do, the more knowledge we have of it.
The stories we get from these people we get into these towns, and they're incredible. Whether they're true or not, they're incredible. Like, one lady was talking about how, these guys were starving. I mean, they were hungry, and word got around that they liked pies. So, all the women in these towns, they thought it was coming through, would bake pies and set them in front of their houses in hopes that they wouldn't come in and raid the house. And he was a ladies' man. He was charismatic, and it seemed like he had a lot of female attention. He's really interesting guy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, we have another caller. Our friend Hook of Hookmeister's Prospecting and Outdoors in southeastern Indiana is on the phone with us. Okay. How you doing, Hook?
I'm doing all right. How's everybody there?
All right. How's it going, Hook?
Working on staying warm, buddy.
Good deal. Good deal. You know what to do. I just put my dive suit on under my coveralls. I'm good to go.
You have a question for our guest tonight?
I've actually got two questions.
Shoot, bud.
I'm a gold prospector, but my wife is really getting into the metal detecting thing. And the question for Sam and Evan is, what do they think about like old mill grounds, old wagon trails? Not really for like, Civil War stuff, but you just don't know because they're all on the maps, the old maps. And my wife wants to know if they've ever got to experience or use one of those kind of, you pull around with a 3D screen kind of metal detectors.
Well, we've had a GPR out, like ground penetrating radar, and we did that to locate a soldier. But they also have 2-box units. We don't have any. I've never used one. Have you used one?
No.
We don't have any experience with those, but typically they're used to find large masses of metal extremely deep. So people that look for coin caches or hoards, they're more prone to use those machines. Hardcore cache hunters, people that specifically look for large masses. We're more of relic hunters. I'm coin shooting, relic hunting, so we're looking for smaller items.
Right.
Right. Okay. And
mill sites to hunt, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've both been on some, and anywhere you get on the oldest property you can find that was a hub, that was a center of commerce. Any place there would have been a lot of people, you're going to find stuff there. If if it hasn't been hunted yet, there'll be stuff.
I heard around mill sites they would picnic a lot and stuff too, and be a real social gathering spot also.
Yeah, the mill we have close to us here was it was built in 1803 when the town was started out, and we have found everything from Indians to you found a real out there, your first real, just walkers, barber half dollars. My dad found them over there. It's an amazing place. I remember sitting there fishing off the where the dam is, and I happened to just look over and looking around at just what's left of this used to be a mill, and I looked down and there was a pocket watch sticking out of the ground. I'm like, what in the world? This thing has been there forever, and hundreds of people have just walked through there. How did nobody else see that? We just popped it out. It is a great place.
Right.
It comes from having a trained eye too. I mean,
Right.
You know how to see things. When you see a bank and rocks and all the other guys, you know how to spot that odd thing that doesn't belong there. That's a trained eye.
Like a flat spot on a hilltop or a circle of trees or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
you just know what you find in any area. At that mill, I was metal detecting the river when it was down during the low rain season. It was just before a storm, and I'm swinging through the water, and I get a very good hit. And then I get another signal. That day, I pulled 68 coins out of I don't know if they were in a bag and they were thrown in there. They, like Canadian loons and French like commemorative coins. Like somebody lost it or threw it in there. And I'm still digging these things, and it starts to storm and lightning, so I had to get out of there. But I went back later. I could have just, not the water could have took them down. But 68 coins from that one area of where I was digging is unbelievable. You never know what you're going to find.
Well, that all sounds great, because I'd like to let you know I've got 2 old mill ground properties that I can go prospect on and metal detect on, because me and my wife's getting more into that because she's really into it, and she's not much on snakes down in the water and stuff, so she stays away from that part, but except for to play with the kids. But I also got a couple properties that have old they're no longer on the map because they've closed the roads, but they used to be old wagon trails. So you guys would be more than welcome to contact me if you ever come into Indiana. So, and I'll make sure that information's posted, and I'll put my number up So, but thank you for answering those questions, because like I said, it's something new we're getting into more and more. My wife's got the AT Pro and the AT Gold, and we're going to keep moving up with what we got on those. So we'll see how it goes.
Where do they get a hold of you at? Oh.
Yeah, phone number is 1-765-561-6059. And on Facebook, it's Hookmeister, MYSTER, Prospecting and Outdoors on Facebook. So
there you go. You got your plug in there. Your shameless plug.
Well, I'm going to open up my doors too. You guys are opening up all these doors, so I'm going to open up more doors, and I want to get with you guys over in Ohio, and I want to work with you guys with the Boy Scouts thing, and I want to keep all this stuff going forward. So keep people outside.
You got it.
Go. That's part of our plan. Our
Get them kids out
plan.
there.
That's right.
Yep. Yep. Well, thank you, and I'm going to free up the lines.
All right. Thank you for calling in, Hook, and hi, Hookette.
Yes, he's listening. She's saying hi. Yeah, she's loving this metal detecting stuff.
Next time she has a question, have her call in.
That's right. You don't always have to call in. She could call in and give her.
She just kind of give me that look. I don't know. So she's a little shy until she meets people in person. So
she knows how to talk on the phone.
Yeah.
I know. I've been hollered at a few times over it. So
All right.
But
calling in.
Yes, and thank you. Bye.
Bye.
You're welcome. All right. Let me take another break for another one of our sponsors who help bring you all this program. Our friends from Gold Claw.
Ed, before you do.
Yeah.
Ed, before you do.
Yeah.
Sam, if you don't mute, we can hear everything you're saying.
Talk quietly.
Okay,
all right.
go on the commercial.
We'll be right back after the word from this announcement from one of our sponsors.
Adventure, mystery, discovery. Gold panning is more than a tour of beautiful rocks. Panning is a journey that can take you to amazing new places all around the world. It is an experience for all ages, bringing families closer together and fulfilling a spark of excitement when life has grown too dull. The Gold Claw Pan makes it easier to take part in the journey than ever before. This expertly designed pan is made for any skill level and any age. All you need is an explorer's heart and the passion for discovery. Begin your family's gold story now. Order your Gold Claw Pan today and see where the adventure takes you.
All right. Well, we're back.
Nothing like a Gold Claw.
No, well, that's a good commercial there.
Nothing like
you
a
got
Gold
for Gold
Claw.
Claw.
I love that thing. The more I use it, the more I love it. It catches that fine Juno gold. It catches it. I like it.
Oops. Okay, I was on mute.
Yeah.
Man,
Phone lines are
I'm
back
talking away.
open. Patrick. Hint,
Jesse's
hint,
on
hint.
mute.
Patrick, hint, hint. Our friend from Tasmania wants to get a voice with the font.
He wants to know the man behind the name.
Right.
Yeah, the one and only famous Patrick O'Masters. we know you're dying to call and talk to your friends Sam and Evan.
I got a question. You just heard Hook mention the Boy Scouts, and you heard Dennis ask about the Boy Scouts. We do demonstrations, gold painting demonstrations for Boy Scouts, and you guys ever do anything like that for Scouts? You ever get involved in anything like that, teaching them metal detecting?
That'd be a really, really awesome thing to do.
Just one of the things that we like to do is try to get kids involved in what we do, because that's the future. You know, I know, and I noticed that a lot of little kids love metal detecting. It's like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
you know, I know Patrick's Ava. She's big time. She's
Mhm.
killer. You know.
That first year I did my dig, we were trying to figure out ways of being able to collect all of the trash and be able to have them, you know, thrown into recycles or keeping them separate from other types of material or metal. And I contacted the Boy Scouts there to see if they would want to bring, you know, the kids in to learn about what we were doing and maybe earn a little merit badge. I thought it'd be kind of neat, but I don't know if they were just too busy. I haven't contacted them, you know, in other areas. Maybe we should start doing that again. You know,
Yeah, they're you need to get a hold of them like a year in advance.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, because it's stuff like that. Because they're pretty scheduled. You know, they do this at this time, this at that time. So you got to, you
yeah,
know, try to, like, we go to their Klondike uh, 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 thing they do in the wintertime.
Klondike Derby.
Klondike Derby, right? Thanks, Ed.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's because what we do with painting and all this stuff is what we demonstrate. So they put that in there with it because it's part of it, you know. But this time they expect us to be old time miners. How are we going to break it to them that we're not like that? We're modern miners. But we'll figure something out.
the year in advance would be a little difficult because sometimes we don't have a place decided upon to do a dig until 5 months beforehand.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you might, you know.
Oh, Patrick's calling.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Hello, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Okay, everybody,
how's it
change
going,
the subject.
Evening, Patrick.
Hey,
Hello.
Patrick.
Hey, Sam and Evan, how you doing? It's Pat.
We're
Doing
doing
good.
great.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good, hanging out here, you know, trying to get through this winter, dreaming about what we're gonna detect up this spring.
Yeah. We're doing some research, lining some places up.
I figured you was, yeah, Jesse kind of blew my, I was going to ask about, you know, researching and stuff during the winter, but I was visiting my sister down in Kentucky. We went to Elizabethtown, and they were telling this story about this cannonball in the wall, and we found that and went up to the hill. Apparently, Morgan and his men laid siege on this town, and it was pretty cool. So I got to wondering, do you ever get to go outside of Ohio and do any Civil War relic hunting?
That's been brought up to me. We were invited to go to a place in Kentucky, one in North Carolina, and recently, well, we haven't done it yet. Obviously, if we do, we're going to have to change the acronym to whatever letter the state is. But we did do a presentation in Wheeling, West Virginia, because they had their militia and they were lined up along the Ohio River there, and they wanted us to check around those areas. It's very difficult around the Ohio River with all the developments and stuff, but we were still able to go over and do a presentation on it, and we haven't made it back over there yet, but we're considering it, yes.
That's cool stuff, man.
Well, you know, if you decide to go in other states and stuff, you can just drop the O and just have it CWPP.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just put a K in there for Kentucky or the I.
There you go.
Yeah.
KY. Yeah, you can change it every time. Or leave it blank.
Yep.
You do all the Civil War.
CWPP question mark.
There you go.
Yeah, we got to hunt one time out in a place where the Confederate troops supposedly camped en route to the Battle of Stones River. And we only had the one afternoon, but I'd sure like to go back there and explore that field a lot more. I found a few things. The one was identified as a winter horseshoe for a lame horse, which made sense to the narrative because, you know, they marched the crap out of their animals en route to these battles, and it was wintertime, so you never know what you're going to find.
You're right.
No doubt.
That's the fun part. It's nice. It's nice that
Well, hey,
so many people
Go ahead.
involved
I'm sorry.
to identify stuff too, because we'll find stuff and we're not quite sure what it is, but somebody else on the dig crew will, or we have resources we can contact people. It helps a lot, and then you learn as you go. The more you find.
We're still learning.
Yeah, like that fellow down in Old Washington that came and was identifying things. That was really neat, and he was a wealth of information.
Yeah, I like that town. Old Washington was a nice town.
It was. Well, hey, my phone's dying. You guys take care, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right, thanks
Good
for
evening,
calling in,
Patrick.
Patrick. And say hi to
Okay,
Susie
bye-bye.
and Ava for us.
Yes.
I will. Take care.
Thanks.
See you later, Pat. Thanks for calling in. Think I'm on mute? No, I'm good.
No,
You're good. I hear you.
Okay, good. I got a question for you. Did you ever get that brush handle, what you call a bell, identified? Remember that in one of your videos, you found what you thought was a bell.
Oh, yeah,
It was a brush handle.
It was a turkey baster.
Right.
That would be me.
That was so funny. I was watching that video and I'm going, well, maybe that could be off some kind of decoration or something. Then I finally saw the handle to it. I says, oh, she's like way off.
There were no branches in this thing. See, that part of where I was there was a park, but there were still woods there, and it was old railroad town. And they ended up taking the railroad out, and then everybody just moved. So the houses just fell in, and there are foundations and cellar holes everywhere, and stuff just all over the place. Yeah, and turkey basters.
That was hilarious.
Now, our friend from Tasmania asked a question. Bill Marsh, the Ohio Relic Hunter, said a reply, but our friend David from Tasmania, would you rather win $1 million or find a relic worth $750,000?
That's easy.
Yeah, well, since I'm a relic hunter and I love history, it's really all about the find. Anybody would love to find $1 million gold cash, but how does it, to me, how does it help the hobby and the history that we're trying to do? A relic can tell a story and help put things to rest and help towns, get their fundings and help. I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
But if you won, just think though, if you won $1 million, because that was the question. If you won, not found. If you won $1 million.
Yeah. Would you rather win
I would
$1
rather
million?
win the $1 million to go find that treasure.
Well, it could help finance finding the relic worth that much.
I was just going to say that. We could go that way.
For me, I know, I could go and buy a coin. Like, I'm a coin collector. I've been metal detecting since I was 12, and I've been filling Whitman's albums. But they don't have any appeal to me to go and buy them. Like, I like the green Indians. I like the
look.
To me, it means that much more because I found it. Like,
right.
I don't value something that I go and buy. It's kind of hard.
Right, it's the same. It's the same with us.
With pay dirt bags, buying pay dirt bags from someone, or finding our own, on the river.
It's the hunt.
Right.
The hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the hunt.
Bill, Ohio Relic Hunter, says, win the $1 million because they'll never sell their finds.
Yeah. Very, very true.
We have a caller on the line though, so instead
do you ever sell any of your stuff? You ever find anything that's worth selling?
Maybe couple junk rings, or I guess if people are interested and they approach me. No, my cabinets are full of stuff.
Yeah.
Anywhere from spoons to buffalo nickels. It's just, yeah.
Now I had a lot of rings.
Show your gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say I found a lot of rings, and I took the rings and traded them in on our wedding band coins.
That's cool.
Yeah. So these are the $5 and a $10 gold coin.
Is that what you do with your gold coin that you found?
Yeah.
No, not mine. Mine's
Oh.
still protected in the safe.
Hers is in the safe.
I'm not doing that.
Hers was a key date, so it was too good to do that too. But yeah, so I scrapped some rings I found on the beach, mostly just wedding band.
Right.
And that bought these.
Very cool.
But typically, no, we don't sell anything. We have stuff we found when we were, 10, 20. I mean, I got stuff I found when I was a kid still.
Right on. I can definitely understand that. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, this is Ronald from Minnesota. Hi, Sam. Good to have you on the show.
Hi, Ronald.
And thank you, Ed, for having such a great guest. And Evan, I don't know you, so I apologize. I only see you in her videos once in a while.
Oh, that's okay.
Hey, Ronald.
But now, Sam, I had a question for you. What gives you more of a thrill? A bullet, a silver bullet, a coin, something else like an arrowhead, or something maybe that you weren't looking for? What gives you the bigger thrill when you're on a hunt?
I love chrono bells and buttons. I like finding things that you wouldn't normally find somewhere. We're detecting a field way far away from any Civil War activity, and you find a Civil War bullet. It's almost like every time you go out, most of the time, you have that one find that just makes it all worth it. It's just whatever the unusual one that makes you question how it got there.
Good answer. Thank you again, and Happy New Year to everyone listening.
You too.
Thank you for all your work you do, and appreciate all your posts and your pictures and all the information you share.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Ronald.
We'll let someone else call in. Thank you, Ed. And Jess.
You're more than welcome, buddy. Our friend Ronald from up in Wisconsin, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. From Minnesota.
Minnesota, you're right.
I believe
one
Minnesota.
of those places.
Minnesota.
We'll get it right for him. We'll get it right.
Yeah.
I'm bad about stuff like that, just like remembering names. It's like, okay.
Yeah, names are hey you for a little bit till I get used to it.
Right.
So, okay. All right. So and we touched on this earlier, during your research, talking to people and that you ever get stories that are just like have nothing to do with what you actually started to look for and then wound up somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a lot.
We've like gone out and we've been out metal detecting, been on a property, finding nothing, and then one day this last year, a guy walks up in the yard and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" We're like, "We're metal detecting." He's like, "Cool, boy, I got a spot for you. You got to come with me." And then we ended up hitting like his house and then his aunt's house, and just had a killer day. But sometimes it leads you in all sorts of different directions. You never know.
what do you consider a killer day?
Oh goodness! That day we pulled out Indians, Wheaties, baby rings, all kinds of buckles. The place had never been hit before, and we were the first ones to ever be there. So it was just an unbelievable amount of cool stuff.
I guess for me, a good day would be like a handful of stuff rather than. I mean, you could find one thing that's just incredible. But for me, it's more about quantity, I think. Like, it's nice to come home and have a lot of stuff to post. And
Something to show for
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily gold or silver. Like, we like gold coppers, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think those are probably one of my favorites. Like, those early American copper.
That was originally the money, right? The
Yeah.
copying up, yeah.
Do you come across very many tokens, trade floors, Civil War tokens?
Get quite a few
Trade
of those.
tokens, store card tokens. Yeah, we
Now,
both.
that's kind of what I get into. I was raised around my dad was a history teacher and historian in Southern California. He had an immense token collection, helped with a few books. That's how I kind of got into a lot of the stuff through my old man. Would go treasure hunting with him all the time at antique shops and coin shops and looking for trade tokens and good fours and hard time tokens and stuff. I do have a really nice foreign coin collection though. not a lot of American coins, but I can definitely tokens. I'd love to find a token someday, but I'm a pull tab finder.
Sometimes because a lot of them are aluminum. The square Palmolive Colgate one. We've been going to a town that's about 80% gone now. Most of the yards are gone, and there were Civil War tokens around there. I think we pulled 3 out of there.
Oh,
one town called Birmingham, which no longer exists, but it's on the old map, and they only made 2,000 of them. So it was kind of cool just to find that. But in that same yard was a scabbard tip, an eagle button, and a stirrup. I mean, things that you would have in the Civil War. So we knew whoever was in that house by doing the research, he served in the Civil War. And it's cool to be able to take that stuff back. We did a presentation we set it out during their town days, and people were just amazed by what we found, just out there in town. It's just kind of cool to be able to find those.
I bet. So what I keep asking. I guess I keep asking of what your other interests are besides metal detecting, kind of other treasure hunting you do.
Yeah, we like to find bottle dumps.
Yeah.
We're both into antiques. We're remodeling an old house right now, built in the early 1800s. So we're working on together and just making it just right. But the property's got a lot of, so we do a lot of research in our spare time. We're researching the owner and all that happened on this property, where the old buildings were, there was a school on the property.
Right.
We found
what's the coolest artifact you found on your own property in your own yard so far?
Well, I found a couple art cents. I thought that Dan actually found an arrowhead in the basement on a chain bezel that I thought that was pretty cool. It was down under the stairs. But yeah, I'm sure we'll still uncover more. We've just pretty much scratched the surface. We cleared the property, but we're going to start doing some heavy. We might even move some dirt.
Very cool. So you plan on tearing? Are you planning on tearing your yard up, metal detecting it, or have you already done that?
We've metal detected some, not a whole lot, but we're actually going. I got to do some excavating, like Kready. So before I build it up, we're gonna scrape a few layers off.
Sift through them.
We did find a large foundation right next to the house, so we're trying to find out if that was the old schoolhouse, which we think it was, a very early schoolhouse. So we're gonna dig that out, I think, and see if we can find some more stuff. We might even
very cool.
there's old spring house out on the back of the property. Got to hunt around that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of area to cover, and a privy we're going to dig out, which it'll be my
Oh,
first
boy.
time. So
I can't wait.
pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Your first privy dig, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. A real hole, huh? A real asshole.
Yeah, there was four big limestone square rocks just sticking up out of the middle of the field. And I was looking at it, I'm like, well, there had to have been a chicken coop there or something, but we verified it from one of the neighbors that said way back it was still standing, but it was their outhouse. So,
there'd be some people probably want to dig that. You never know what you find in the privy.
We were thinking about having a little privy digging party there. So yeah, we may do that.
Privy dig.
Oh yeah, I've seen some guns pulled out of privies that this guy was digging in Mount Vernon, Washington, at my buddy's house. He's like, just walks up to him. We're outside. He's like, "Do you mind if I come and dig up where see that round indentation right there?" My friend Dan's like, "Yeah." He goes, "I think that might be an old privy. Mind if I check it out and dig in it, maybe?" And he's like, "No, go ahead." And he laid out a tarp, had his rod, and he pushed it in and felt some glass. He's like, "Yep, I think that's a bottle." And next thing you know, he's digging in it and pulled out some really nice medicine bottles. One was a really beautiful cobalt bottle. And then he pulled out a pistol. And we were like, "Wow, man, cool." But I don't know about digging in some dew.
It's all gone.
It's all gone. All the dew's gone. That's all gone.
The paper and the kernels are nil.
Yeah, it's all gone. They've gone back to Earth.
Some stained up corn cobs or something.
Those are gone too.
No
all
sewer bass
all the
floating in that hole.
organics are gone. We hope.
We hope.
So what do you got? So do you have any? I know earlier you said that your plans are probably only like 5 months out. Do you have anything for this coming 2018 that I want to talk about?
Well, I may be leaning towards heading back to Morgan County. We were supposed to go there just this past dig, but that emergency dig at Berlin that kind of pushed us the other way. So we may go back there. I already have a list of 4 or 5 missions from David Mount. That place is already lined up, and there's not a whole lot to plan for. We may just do that. I haven't really decided, but I'm leaning.
So you're basically concentrating on this whole Morgan Civil War thing, and you want to get to the end of it.
Yeah, we want to just follow the trail the whole entire way through Ohio and save as much history as we can. I mean, a lot of it's already been hit. I know a lot of relics have already been dug up and sold off, and that history's lost, or the grounds have been moved, or houses torn down and just forgotten about.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna save what we can.
Like I was saying earlier, didn't even know that happened. Didn't even know the Civil War come up this far. Come up into Ohio like that. I always thought it was down south.
Yeah.
Civil War happened in the South. It didn't happen up here.
Well, that's a good question. Brother Joseph wants to know if you've ever found a time capsule.
Yes.
Good question.
We were in Old Washington. There was a group of us. It was Rusty Fawcett that actually found it. We were up there with Bill Marsh, Joe Todd, Eddie Smith. Just a small group of us out there digging. And he gets a good signal right in the park while waiting on people to get there. And we found a time capsule from 1998 to a school in Old Washington that was no longer there. So that video, oh goodness, I can't remember what his YouTube page is. Pennsylvania Relic Hunter, maybe.
Yeah, Pennsylvania Relic Recovery.
Yeah, it's yeah, should be that one. But yeah, it was Rusty Fawcett that actually found it in the video. He's got a couple videos of us pulling this stuff out. It was just unreal.
Yeah, Patrick O'Master said, think about it. All the homes that have outhouses, you have to have a path where the people were in a hurry to get out to them.
Yep.
The path is a good place to hunt.
Dropping trowel halfway there.
Outside.
I've heard that you could find where it was, work that path hard, because that makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably lots of trouser buttons. Hurry, running.
Running.
The outhouse was a good place to hide stuff. There was one story. It was I can't remember his name. The western part of Ohio, but they had used mason jars, and they took the lid back then and they nailed it to the roof, or the ceiling part of the outhouse, and they filled it with their corn or whatever they wanted to hide, and just screwed it into the lid. A lot of them get knocked over and they forget it's there.
Yeah, I'm not digging for that one. Too fresh. I've heard that they use that, as a hiding area, because nobody's going to be digging around. Not just, around it. I've heard stories about where they've actually had hiding places right where you sit, because they know people aren't going to be looking in there. At least, so that's.
Have you guys ever heard of post safes?
Who?
Post safes. So this, I guess it was a thing. Farmers would want to hide money. They'd just go to a fence post, lift it out of the ground, points and put the post back in it. And they, it's documented that was it was a thing.
Just walk by to the loose post.
Yeah.
Look for the loose post.
I could imagine Depression era farmers would do that. They didn't trust banks no longer and stuff, and instead of hiding it under their mattress where it could be stolen, they would stash it. I've heard in rat holes and stone walls too and stuff. You could find loose bricks or stones, and they could be tucked in there. Little caches.
I've heard cornerstones in old homes. The cornerstones.
Yep.
Yeah,
Boy, all this stuff we're learning from these metal detectorists.
I know. And it's really cool because it's cool because some of the stuff that we're learning actually helps us out too with what we do.
Right.
Now when it's already bad enough I'm looking for gravel bars, but now when I go to a stream, I'm going to be checking out the bank a lot harder than I have been. I never really pay much attention to it, but I'm hearing about finding campsites along the banks and stuff.
There's a fence post close, he'll be rattling.
I'll be rattling it.
Just don't rattle them if they have purple paint on them.
Yeah,
right.
You get shot.
Hell, Patrick's got me going in and checking coin masters at the stores. Yeah, you got to check those. Sometimes they got them old coins. You got to, anytime you go by.
Our friend from Tasmania, David again. I have dreams all the time finding treasure. Do they have them dreams also?
No, I keep having this repetitive dream. The same place, same field, same house. I'm just looking for that place because it's loaded wherever it is.
You just haven't been able to find it, huh?
It just seems like a real place to me. Like maybe a long time ago I visited this place and remember it, but I don't know. But yeah, we do.
I do. Yeah, like if we got a big hunt lined up or new permission the night before, absolutely, I will dream about digging up treasure.
Big treasure.
Right.
I can imagine. I don't know, it's like, I don't know. I imagine there's a fever involved in that too. You know.
I'm sure there is.
It seems like a lot of the research might help you dream about that stuff too. When I was doing research on these fields that we're detecting now, I read so many stories about the place, and it's so eerie when you're standing in that field and there's nothing left. The church that sat in one of these fields, it told you who built it, and it was 4 brothers that built it. They told you the lives of them, the lives of the father, how they built it, what it looked like, hand carved benches and what the window dimensions were. And you look at it and it's gone. I mean, they even got into detail to see that this guy he didn't love his wife anymore, wanted to divorce her. So he was banned by the church, disowned by his kids, and this poor man walked right into the river behind this field and basically drowned himself. When you're out in the field, you just get covered in goosebumps. You're like, I can't even believe this. There's nothing left of dirt.
It's not hard to determine where these structures were. So like, you get on a site, and then the best people metal detect are the ones that can read the sites, lay out where the front yard was, the side yard was, the clotheslines, the wellheads, the outhouses, the smoke houses, the ice houses. There's so much to think about when you're hunting these. It's not just walking around winging a coil. You got to make the best of your time, and the guys that think long and hard, I think, and girls, they're the best diggers out there, I think.
Is it Aqua Jigger that did a video about? Was it Bo? Did a video about being able to read the property according to the hills and stuff, or the mounds in the area. That was a really interesting video.
Like reading trees, like that's an art. Like just finding those big oak trees with branches running horizontally. You know that tree was out in the open field. There's a lot to it. Like those tree limbs point to light, so a lot of times you're out in the woods, they can help you find a cellar hole.
I found one just because it looked. I found one in an area that had. It's a park now, but it's just more like a walking park. People do their walk through the woods, But as I'm walking around looking for Sasquatch, no, as I'm walking around, I noticed a depression in a mound. Yep. Right, and it was probably about 20, 30 feet from the path, from the walking path. And I walked up there, and sure enough, it was a cellar hole. You could still see the foundation, but it was just filled with so much trash. Bed springs, washing machines, old stuff. I mean, it was really old washing machines, probably stuff from the 40s, it was just so filled with junk. I'm going, man, if I wanted to dig this, it'd take me a week just to clear it out to be able to metal detect in it, Yeah. So then I got on, after I found that spot, I got onto aerial architect photos, or what is that?
Historic aerials?
Yeah, historic aerials. That's it. That's the one. I got on there, and I looked that area up, and I found another building, right? A little bit of ways from where that one was. So I went over there, and sure enough, there it was. So that's really cool. It's another tool to use.
It a lot.
Yeah, it helps you find or locate where old buildings used to be. It'll tell you a whole lot more than that. But yeah, that's one of those sites that I like using. So that's really cool. Do you do a lot of that yourself?
Yeah, he mostly does the maps for us. I do the actual book research online, so he's working on that. I'll be reading and okay, look for this name. There's a grove here, or there's a fairgrounds here, or there's even, I mean, even in these stories, they tell you where people lost something, or they stashed something in the hills because Morgan's Raiders were coming through, but they couldn't remember where they hid it. You know, these stories are all over the place.
I mean, yeah, there's treasure everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like we're pulling up old newspaper articles, you know, from the 1800s. They've got a lost and found section in the 1800s. Like I found one that shows a street address, what block they lost the ring in,
Oh,
and then
wow.
then it's like you know, it's 2 hours away. I don't know who lives there now, you know, but
Right.
you got a view and it's still there. It's fun. You just never know.
Definitely a cold call.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's lots and lots of research from all sorts of different sources.
So basically, just like any other treasure hunt adventure, you got to start off by doing the research.
Right.
I mean, everything boils down to doing that research.
Oh yeah.
And it don't matter what kind of detector you have. If your research isn't good, you're not going to do well.
Absolutely.
Right.
All these machines are good too. I mean, you can go out and find stuff with an entry level machine.
Mm-hmm.
You can find the same stuff you can find with a $3,000 machine. If you're good at research, you get on that old property where there was a lot of people, you're going to find stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Places where people hung out, you know.
Yep. Picnic groves and
Yeah. Yeah, meeting places, old church halls, granges, schools that are no longer there. I mean, the school on, you know, our property was there for what, 35 years?
Mm-hmm.
And it actually stated in the story when I was doing the research that over 75% of the students, the whole entire 30, 40 years, were at least 200 pounds. How does that happen when you're 12? Believe it.
Must have been a German community with a lot of big German kids.
Very well could be.
They were
even
Wow.
today, it's mostly all Amish around us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dutch ancestry.
Yeah, those stories are just fun. It's like you're just stepping back in time for a minute. It makes
Right.
a place meaningful. You know, you're going to metal detect a place. Most people just see a foundation. Well, we kind of want to know who lived there, what they do, where'd they come from, how many kids they have, you know, what they do for a living, how they die. That's the kind of information we like to read.
Right. Well, and then, you know, when you find stuff too, that leads you to more research.
Yes.
You know, okay, I found this. Who did it belong to? You know, and how did it get here? You know.
Right.
I think that's one of the best things about the hobby is finding something with somebody's name on or something you can link back to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. It's like you go home and the day keeps going. You know, you got research to do, something else to figure out. It's like trying to solve a puzzle.
Geez, I had a comment. I was just thinking about it, and right when I went to say it, oh, doggone it. I'm having a blonde moment again, guys.
It happens. All the time.
Well, you know, in our, oh yeah, that's it. Now, you said hobby. I can understand why a lot of people in our lifestyle and yours say it, but it kind of makes me cringe because I'm originally from the West, and the term hobbyist or recreationalist has put a damper on a lot of the mining community's rights.
Mm-hmm.
But I fondly call it a lifestyle because it encompasses a lot of my life.
Right.
Would you agree it's more than just a hobby or recreation, that it has consumed you to a point where it's actually a lifestyle?
Yep.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. And you know, we could be sitting in front of a TV, or we could be in a bar. You know, what we're doing is pretty beneficial to our health, and more specifically your mental health. I think it's great therapy. You can go out and have something to concentrate on that you love, and that thrill of the hunt, whether it's panning for gold or metal detecting, it's something in your blood. Like you thrive for that. It gives you a rush. Yeah, we're very lucky to have found this hobby. You know, we've been doing it most of our lives, and we'll always do it. But absolutely.
Yeah. They say everybody is born with a treasure hunter in their heart, and some people don't lose that. You know, you're always seeking something, always wanting to discover something, and that is a way of life. I mean, how boring would it be if you didn't? I mean, I don't know.
You know, just the fact that you're getting out, you're outside, you're not in front of a piece of electronic equipment. That you're out getting a little bit of exercise, getting some rays out there, some vitamin D, and you know, just being outside, you know, and enjoying what you're doing. That's just so beneficial for your mental health. You know, like you say, it's great therapy. It's panning for gold is great therapy. You know, so yeah, it's
well, a lot of time just running a creek sluice for the day is a lot of good.
Oh, yeah.
That's good for you, man. Nice, quiet, and
yep.
Yeah, very peaceful.
Yep.
I think that's one of the reasons that we try to do as much as we can with the Boy Scouts and the young kids to get them, you know, outside. Go play in the dirt. You know, nobody plays in the dirt anymore.
Xbox.
Right.
Yeah. My youngest son, he only detected for a couple of years maybe, but he was more into the bottles. If I metal detect in a place, we helped. You know, I'd find a bottle dump where he'd be. You know, I bought him the tools to dig him, and he loved it. I remember filling the back of a car with over 200 bottles to bring him home. He loves it. And insulators. He finds those old insulators.
Oh yeah, hey, some of those insulators can be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, he has 7, but it's good. You know, he loves it.
Well, you know, some of those insulators bring in a lot of money, especially you get the off-colored ones, the ones that aren't, you know, the reds.
Right.
You know, those, especially red. But those off-color ones bring in quite a bit of bucks, so it could be something that he could actually, you know, make a few dollars on just playing. You know?
Yeah, I don't know too much about them. I mean, we have a chart. That's about it. And
right.
He just likes to, and they're up on display.
Well, hey, that's cool. I've got a bunch too. Most of mine are green, but you know that's a pretty common color.
I grew up by the railroad, so I had a pretty good supply of all of them. But did I keep a bunch? No.
No. I guess the red ones are really the red, purple ones. They come in different colors. It's amazing.
Well, some are porcelain.
You know that because you have a chart.
Some are porcelain and some are glass.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. These are all glass. We have the old, where the railroad runs through here, part of that old town. There are still posts up with those on it. So when we're able to get down along that railroad track, take him down there, we're just going to walk the track and look for some that might have fallen off.
Right. I grew up by the railroad tracks. I had access to all those insulators. And I bet I shot half of them with a 22, to be honest with you, when I was a kid. I laid money, I did.
If you knew then what you know now.
Well, I kept some. I do have some in a box somewhere, and I do have some of the porcelains and some of the green glass and different things. But that box is put up somewhere. I'd have to dig to find it. But I did. I had access to all kinds of them.
I don't know where I found my list.
I was scamping around before the dig on the Morgan Trail, and it was knocked over a hill. It was in 1893.
Yeah, so they, you know, they had all those fires out in California recently. One of the people that we know, Shannon Poe from American Mining Rights Association, he just put out a video where it's about a ghost mine, but he shows the area where they're at and all the damage and everything. Well, because of that, they were able to locate 2 dump sites, can sites down the side of a mountain. And they were down there picking up all these cool cans and bottles and stuff that nobody's seen because it's been buried by vegetation. When the fire went through, cleaned all that up, and now everything's exposed again.
Know what Shannon should do, though? He should go and search those cans, because sometimes the prospectors or miners, they would put nuggets in tin cans and hide it among the garbage.
Hey.
So, you know, because they did a lot of hard work digging the gold, and they didn't want someone come steal it. So
yeah, think of that guy that was saving all his nuggets for when he got done for the summer or whatever the season was, and didn't make it through the whole summer. Either got killed or was, you know, got in some kind of accident where he was never able to go back to get his bucket of gold. I want to go find it. Those are all cool stories, you know, but without the evidence, without the research, without that, it's just what it is a story, you know. So research. That's what we've been finding a lot, especially talking to people like you and Patrick and Jovan and some of these other prospectors. Everything is a lot of research. So
like 90% research,
right?
You know?
So,
and that goes for us too. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So even though it's a good idea to get away from electronics and be outdoors, you got to have it now. I mean, that's your research anymore.
I tell you one thing, it's a lot easier now. Like when I was really had on my mining claims, I had to do a lot of my research at the library. I had to go through, send away for microfiche to search for open claims that I could stake and check out and prospect. So I had to go out, buy a microfiche reader just to read the microfiche, you know, and now I can go to BLM site and do the LR2000 and boom, it's, or let my fingers do a little searching on the interweb. And next thing you know, it sure makes life a lot easier in the research department.
Yeah.
Right. Let me ask our buddy Dick Goldsmith here what the name of that was. He a general?
Yeah. The general on your property, Dick.
What's his name?
Oh, what was his name?
No, Dano, you don't know. That's why we're asking Dick.
I know, but I should know because I've talked to it enough.
You talked to the statue or the
Simon Kenton. I want to say Simon Kenton. See if Dick types the same name
in. It is a Kenton, I believe. You're right about that.
Simon Kenton, I believe.
He's not paying attention.
Dick, listen to us.
Talking to Jonathan.
He's got a memorial on his property of it, though.
Right.
Zanesfield, Ohio. Zanesfield, yeah.
Yeah, it's up by Bell Fountain.
Simon Kenton, he says, yep.
Yep, Simon Kenton.
The namesake of Kenton, Ohio.
Yeah. Gotcha. Our Confederate soldier's name was Thomas Milton McGee, and he was actually serving under the Confederate soldier. Well, Duke. Duke traveled with Morgan, and he was serving under Duke, and he was shot across the river in Eagleport. And he was put back on his horse by a couple comrades. So he got across the river, made it to the McElhaney farm, and he died there. And in the hustle bustle, they hurry it up and they buried him under a pile of rocks. It wasn't very good, but they wrote on this big rock his name, where he served, Kentucky 2nd Cavalry, and then they left. And then the landowner at the time had reburied him. that's where the stories were coming through that they didn't know where he really was. You know, they thought he was moved because of the river. They thought he was moved when the road was put in. He was moved and the headstone was separate because of grave robbers. There were so many different stories, but we brought Frank Bergolo in from DA in New Jersey, and he was able to locate him using the GPR. So it's really cool to be able to get that history and prove that, you know, that soldier was there, and it really had some closure for the landowners too, to put those other 4 or 5 stories to rest. What's really cool about
Oh, okay. He was not a Civil War.
Indian
Wars.
Indian
Wars.
Sam and Kenton fought during the Indian Wars. Thank you, Dick.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he's not Civil War. Of course, he could have been in the Civil War, right?
We were schooled on that. Indian Wars, he might be talking about earlier Indian Wars.
Okay, well.
Around when the Indians fought with the French. It was before the War of 1812, I believe.
Oh, okay. Okay.
A lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this, you know, no, we won't get into that. we try not to talk politics on this show or religion. You know, we try not to, but you know, it sneaks in all the time.
Yeah,
but, I mean, it's life. But we really try not to talk about politics at all, other than anything that might affect us as far as laws and stuff. Speaking of which, you know, the American Mining Rights Association, they're primarily work towards helping people that get in legal jams with as a gold miner. You know, like out in California, they have sanctions. You can't dredge and this and that. And of course, you got your rogue people that do it anyway. So they represent them, but it goes further than that, because what they're fighting is the government coming in and taking land away. So like, right. So it's already like, even you guys have regulations about Civil War sites and stuff that you're not allowed to dig into or be around.
Yeah, the only places we go it's private property.
Right.
They ask us to go anywhere else. That's good, but we try to steer clear of that, and they know right from the get-go that we are not there to try to steal their land. We're not
right
at all.
In fact, in a lot of cases, they found us because they want to know what's there, but they don't want to involve the state. Right. When the state comes in, you have regulations.
Right.
There's always a chance that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
So people are a little standoffish, especially in the smaller towns, and they have good reason.
Yeah, that would be really suck for them, for you guys to go in there doing your thing and all of a sudden discover something even more outrageous or ancient, or you know, you come onto some major burial ground or something. Now the government steps in. You know, anything could happen at that point. Right. So that's what these people fight. You know, that type of situation. I don't know that it has anything to do with metal detecting at this point, but it's part of that getting outside. They don't want us outside anymore. They don't want us out in the woods. They don't want us out in the fields or in the streams, you know. Yeah. They want to stay in your little cubby hole in front of your laptop. Well, we're not going to do it.
Right.
Okay.
They want everything under the ground, and whatever you find and whatever you're able to hunt for and stuff be theirs, like the crown. I think that's why we fought the British. but
yeah. I've had a university that's been contacting me for 3 years. They want to be involved. They want to have a part in it. They want to be out in the field. They want to help. I don't mind giving them our information of things we found to help them with their history, but to allow an archaeological university come on
They'll
to a
take
property.
it over and call it theirs.
Right. I'm
Yep.
really
Kick
careful.
you off. Oh, historical site. Oh.
Yeah, and then I just don't want to do anything to jeopardize our project. You know,
Right.
If it's the information they need, I have no problem sending photos, sending the actual results, and they don't want that. They want to be there, and that's something landowners don't want either. So that kind of takes the heat off of me for saying no.
Yeah, because
Right.
the landowners aren't letting them happen, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't, because, like I said, they'll just take over, and the next thing you know, in fact, we're taking over the property. You have no rights here anymore.
Right.
We've paid you, because they're going to want to fund. They're going to want to, well, here's our 2 cents. So yeah, it's best not to get them involved hardly at all, ever.
We're doing fun with the way we fund it. We have fun with it too. People donate. They like being a part of it. They like winning auctions. They don't even care if it's a dollar copper round they paid $5 for. They did something good, fun. It's the camaraderie between all the diggers once a year. I mean, I don't want them to take that from us.
I mean,
that's the same with us. We like the camaraderie. You like, and like you guys, we also like the bonding that and the friendship that you make, being out there. It seems to be a more honest type relationship than what you would find, normally in your everyday life. Going to the bars, going to this, whatever your daily routine. Most of the people you meet aren't.
Right. Just to be able to be around that many people you have so much in common with. That's awesome.
It is. That's like the best part. Yeah, we like to find our gold, but we also like sitting around the campfire at night and lying about all the gold we found, or didn't find, So, but it's that's the part. That's the part that actually, like for me, that's the part that gets me go out there, go camping, for the weekend, and just get all dirty and nasty and dig the dirt. Otherwise, I'm just a lazy old man, sits around, does nothing.
Well, a lot of things have been invented by lazy men, and women,
Yep.
Well, we're on 2 hours,
right?
A little over 2 hours, and I've been telling my better half will try and cut things shorter.
It's hard to.
Oh, I know, because
we get a stomp on the floor when she's had enough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I laugh too loud.
You'll hear a.
Shh, Jesse, don't make me laugh too loud.
Be quiet.
I just woke my wife up.
We're going to get Ed in trouble.
Jesse about got him in trouble.
Yeah.
Near the ring of the frying pan. Pong!
So it's been fun night tonight. I mean, I hope you guys have had fun.
Had a great time.
I know. I remember you were on GPS. A couple years ago?
I think it was right after the first dig.
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much from you. I haven't seen much in your videos, other than your cute fox one lately.
I'll get him out there.
Been doing a trip, having that fox come up to you like that.
Give a shout out to your YouTube channel, Sam, and let's get some people over there and get our subscriptions boosted up.
Okay, it's Backyard, all one word, capital B, and then capital D, and then capital B, capital Y, and then the second word is Diggers with a capital D.
Backyard Diggers.
Yeah, and then that's the same for the Facebook page, and then I have the CWPPO Facebook page. And
yeah, I just joined that tonight.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, and then the CWPPO.org. And then I
Okay.
my personal my personal webpage for the digging and all the projects and the personal digs is Sam Waters, bio, that's bio .jimdo.com.
Excellent. If you want to shoot me out those on Messenger, Sam, I'll put them in the description below. And for anybody who wants to come back later and comment after this has processed, please do. And anyone who watches after we're live, the links will be below in the description. And please comment. And if you want to ask a question for Sam or Evan, please do, because hopefully one day we'll be able to get them back.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I've had a real good time, and man, time flies by. I could swear we just went live not too long ago.
Ohio Relic Color says, I'm a little biased, Ed, but great guest, great show.
Thank you very much, Bill.
Yeah.
Oops, I mean Ohio Relic Hunter. I blew your cover, dude.
Oh.
Let me get rid of this dude here.
I'm working on it, Jesse. I'm working on it. I got it.
Gotcha.
We prefer not that kind of language, Kyle. Thank you.
I'm thinking Kyle's one of them people that just like to show up and cause trouble. He ain't been here the whole show.
Yeah. That's good.
You know, there are those types. That means
Yeah.
we're doing something right.
We allow anybody in here. They may not stay, but we're allowed to come in.
But watch your language and be polite. That's all we ask.
Right.
We are a kid-friendly show.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Get out of here, damn it.
Doggone it.
Oh, I gotta stop.
Thank
so
you
really,
very much.
I hope you guys do make it out to the Fossil this year.
Yeah, that'd be great. And
that would be really cool. You guys
come back on Labor Day weekend for Gold Rush.
Right. I believe they're doing it. Are they doing a night hunt this year or no?
And as of at this moment, I'm cooking a pig there this year.
Oh yeah,
cooking a whole pig. So
Patrick brought up the night hunt for the Fossick, and I believe they have one for Gold Rush days too.
And they're putting up trip lines for the night hunt. Really exciting.
Keep you on your toes.
Digging pits and all.
Yeah.
Well, really, that would be cool. It's it's a weekend thing. Bring your camper, your tent, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Family friendly.
Bring your kids, your dog, and bring your mom, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll leave them home.
Okay. Just bring yourselves in. Leave the kids at home too. Let the kids watch the dogs.
Well, it depends how old they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get rid of it?
I deleted these posts, but I didn't. I thought maybe he'd be a little nicer about it.
No, just get rid of them.
But he just don't understand. I don't reckon.
Some people, you know.
That's all right. If I could reach through, I'd choke him one time.
Yeah.
I already took care of the deed.
Yep.
There we go.
I would just booted him. Blocked.
It was hidden by me. Timed out by Dana. For 300 seconds. Oh, and my youngest son's here from Massachusetts.
Oh,
hey,
cool.
Ian. Retro Radical. He has a gaming channel here on YouTube. If you're into gaming, hit him up. He's not family friendly, though. He has age restriction on his site. He cusses like a sailor, damn it, son. You need to stop that. You weren't raised that way, young man.
Well,
yes, you're right.
Yeah,
it's a mass hole. Get it right, son. You live there. Mass hole. Ask Bob up in Maine. That's what they call you guys. They're mass holes. Goonies. No, but Ian's a great guy. He's a lot like his dad.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's why I worry about him, Jesse.
Okay. But I think we should call it a night. What do you think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You want to talk some more? You got more things to talk about? We can talk all night if you want.
You have
No?
anything to cover?
I don't think so. I
We're
mean,
good.
I'm
You
sure you
good?
guys will come up with more questions for us, and we'll come back on another time.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
That sounds
Oh,
good.
yeah.
You heard him. Everybody
I heard him.
watches this later. Put your questions below, and we'll get them when they come back.
Yes.
Thank you very much again, Sam, Evan. It was a pleasure having you join us tonight.
Yeah, it was nice finally getting to talk to you.
Fun.
Yeah, like I said, I've been following you for a while. I don't comment much on your posts or on your video. You know, I just don't to anybody. You know,
I need to comment more. I watch tons of videos, but I like the ones I watch when I
Right, throw a
like
thumbs
them.
up to them.
Yeah, but
Right.
I need to really comment more. Sorry, my friends out there with YouTube channels, but I'll work on it.
So you guys need to work on getting some more YouTube videos out.
We're
Yes.
going to. We did talk about that just recently.
Yeah,
Now that you got a cameraman.
We want to document a lot of different places that we're going because there's so much history in just like for instance, there's a bed and breakfast we checked. It's a historical place. We found a lot of cool stuff for her, and now it's hanging in her museum or her front lobby. That kind of thing should be shared.
Hey, those are the kind. Believe it or not, those are the kinds of things people like to see too. They like to see you find the stuff, but they also like to follow up on what happened to that piece. What you found a piece of history. What happened. So videos like that, I think, would be cool to watch.
Yeah, but
I also like the fact that you don't make them 2 or 3 hours long either.
It's 15. You'll lose. I don't usually watch videos because of that. I don't have time to watch hour-long videos.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your 15, 20-minute videos I thought were really cool, but some history, some especially follow-ups of some of your finds. Like I said, I was really curious to find out what happened to that medallion, and here you just threw it in a box, forgot about it.
No, it's actually displayed, and I don't know if you follow the Backyard Diggers, but I posted it on there, but I didn't do a follow-up video.
Well.
I gotta learn how to do all that.
Yeah, well, it takes time. It all takes time. A little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah.
Then it all becomes something you go, oh, this was cool. I'm going to do more of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like this show. We started off kind of stumbling around. We still stumble a bit, but we've gotten to a format now where the audience sees you guys and they don't have to look at us. and that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So
Who wants to look at three ugly old men?
So with this format we're doing now, and you'll see it when you go watch it on YouTube.
And please,
if you watch yourself,
go back, watch it, and then give us your honest opinion and comments. And
and that's another thing too, folks out there in live chat land. Hey, if you think there's something that can help us get a little bit better, we don't know unless you let us know.
That's right.
So in your comments, let us know. Hey, that really sucked, or this was really awesome. You don't need to stroke us. We're big boys.
Yep.
Well, except for sometimes. Sometimes I just want to.
We might be older and big boys, but we don't act like it most of the time.
But yeah.
Think we're there.
I think so.
Pretty much.
I'm good. I had fun talking to you guys tonight, and I hope we get to meet. Like I said, maybe at the
Fossick.
Fossick.
Come to Fossick or Gold Rush.
Or Gold Rush days.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get into gold medal detector or metal detector a little bit more. I can't even get gold out of my mind. You know, so.
But you own a detector. Dana owns a detector.
Right,
I
we
own
have
2
detectors.
detectors. And
My detecting experience has been in my front yard.
So Ed can two-fist it.
You know, but I found the Kennedy half there, so that was cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was awesome.
my
Ooh,
first
look, Kennedy
silver
half.
in my backyard
Right.
too. So
yeah, so
I found a trigger guard to a
backyard
musket.
detectorist.
I found a trigger guard to a musket in my garden.
There you go. Well, I'm good for tonight.
They do have a prospecting video though. Ian Gold Rush, Alaska has a prospecting video. Sorry, I see Patrick Moore talking about a prospecting video. So play it. You'll get our prospectors involved.
Well, ain't that Dig Dug?
No, they have a new one. Dig Dug was a mining.
I know.
Though.
Yeah, there's Jaron said his biggest gold ring came from his backyard.
Oh wow.
That one that he had a video
that
of?
class ring that
that
was trying to
class
find
ring.
the owner.
So you guys, you find a lot of class rings?
Oh, that is actually on my bucket list. I want to
really?
one.
I found one and I returned it.
Our buddy, our moderator here, Mr. Lodak, Jaron, to us, he just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, found a class ring. I don't know if he got it back to the person. I know he was trying to
searching for him.
He was searching for the owner. I don't know if he ever found him. I know he found his family. So that was cool. He felt he needed to return that ring if he could. You know, that's kind of cool.
The great family.
Yeah, that's kind of digger code, I think. It's like you get a class ring, you got to get it back to me.
Yeah.
Kind of like a wedding band. Huh?
Wedding bands, if you have to inscribe.
If anyone's ever in Skagit Valley, Washington, I lost my wedding band given to me by my father in a field digging post holes for horse stables. Get a hold of me. I'll give you the exact coordinates.
No, he says he hasn't found the owner. He hasn't found the owner yet. Keep looking, buddy.
Keep looking. You will. All right. Before Judy pounds on the floor telling me the session's over.
Okay.
Let's get this wound up. If you two want to stay on for a moment, please do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our YouTubers and friends out there, our YouTube family, thank you all very much for joining us.
Yes.
If you're watching after the live show, please comment below, give a thumbs up. We really appreciate you all being here. You are the reason why we are here.
That's right.
Are here.
You got it. The second time.
Yeah, the second time. Yeah, you know, I am blind, so partially it comes out.
You know, one of these days that excuse is not going to work for you.
And a little bit of ginger.
Hey, I'm partially blonde. It will always work for me. You're just jealous because you're gray and dark.
I'm not gray.
Salt and pepper. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining us. Dano, Jesse, thank you very much. As always, my two good friends.
Yep.
Sam, Evan, thank you all for joining us. You all see us next week, same time, same channel. We'll have YouTuber, Gold Prospector, president of I believe he's the president of the Bedrock Prospectors out of Puyallup, Washington. Dennis Peterson's going to be with us next week. So come join us then. We'll be talking about some Washington State gold, a state very close to my heart. Until then, may you always have a flash in your pan.
And you know what he's going to say next.
You gotcha. You know what I'm going to say, my Jeff Williams impression.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm going to say, don't ya? Don't ya? Maybe one day, too, we'll see you on the river.
Night, everybody.
Sam, Evan. Good night, everyone.
Night, Sam, Evan.
Good night,
Good night,
Dano.
Ed.
Good
Good
night,
night, Nano.
Good night,
Not
David,
Ed,
David.
not
Good night,
Jesse.
everybody.
Grumpy cat.
In the beginning, Edward.
In a shed with in a shed with a head.
Yeah. They got the same